Southeast. Janelle was in the Love Dolls. Okay, see, so there were.
Laurel was the first
It
one.
was like a total sausage master.
Well,
That's the next project. That's the next project. Do you have any more questions? Oh, Mel Webb.
John, what's niacin for?
oh man, this one time we were in the outpost and I took a sheet of acid and put it in some Kool-Aid thinking, and it must have flowed to the top, and I drank way too much, so I went home. And it hurt so bad. I was naked in the yard trying to get in the dirt like I thought of like a human earthworm. And finally, rock bottom came over and had me eat a bunch of niacin because that's supposed to bring you down off the acid. And I was bright red for days. 4 days into it, I was still seeing trails off cars on the freeway. It was brutal. So niacin, in theory, will bring you down from acid?
No.
I don't know. I used to inject people with salt water all the time because someone told me when you overdose that helps. It's unfounded, but Scott Brooks, he's been injected by me. I've got about 7 saves and no deaths on my call water chain. Salt water. I'm gonna be. We're actually collaborating, Mario and I, on the next Fatso.
Woo!
Collaborating.
Sounds real good.
COLL. Collaborate.
I have a question for you guys. Is there ever gonna be a round 2, like that'll show the Indio side of the punk rock?
I'm currently working on a film called The Dirty Desert. It's a spin-off, and it's going to star Rock Bottom. It's going to bring in all the dirt bags. Little is this known, but Opie spent a lot of time in institutions. He was a young punk rock kid, and so we consider this the Desert Empire. Everything, as soon as you hit Snow Creek all the way to Salt Sea, this is the mighty Desert Empire. So these guys always had to be in the Inland Empire car in prison. Well, they got fed up with it, so they finally made a stand. We're the Desert Empire. We're going to start have our own car. That's Opie. Let's see that Desert Empire tattoo on your back, Opie. Come on. Let's see it, brother. Come on. It's a founder of the Desert Empire. He's putting a lot of time and represented the desert in the prison system.
Hey, thanks for putting that out there. He's all good.
So you could the mighty Desert Empire.
Bring it.
You see it? Desert Empire. Come on. Don't make us wait. Where is it? Boom, Desert Empire, right there. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
What happened? Oh, because this is a Maury Geyer shirt. He made clothes for Liberace and had a shop in the 70s on Palm Canyon. Thank you.
One more question over here.
Classic.
This one was for Mario. You did open a club in, was it Indio?
Yes.
How did that come about, and how long was it open?
Well, it actually kind of came about from that one big party that you saw in the movie where we all got in trouble. Kind of got me fed up with the illegal party situation. I got tired of sweating the police and all that. So being my parents being in the nightclub industry for so many years, we kind of knew how to do that. So I started looking around, and Indio being the cheapest place to kind of find a venue. We took over this old diner. It was a pancake place, I think, and ripped out all booths, and it was just a cheap place, couple grand a month. And but that was the inspiration. Was we just tired of illegal places? We're tired of being under the gun of other businesses, moving pool tables and going in after hours to restaurants and stuff like that. So, we wanted to do it right. We wanted to have a PA system and a stage and a place that we could call our own, something like what you'd go and find in Los Angeles or Orange County or San Diego or whatever. And it just never existed down here, to my knowledge. At least I never got to go. So that's what inspired it. But being in Indio was kind of a bad idea in the end because it was really far most of the kids that were supporting the place. It was all ages, which is really tough to make a living, being, you know, in the bar business, and all ages venues are tough. So we sold pizza. We charge a cover to the kids and give them a ticket for a pizza and a Coke, and we tried everything.
Nobody had Coke.
Yeah, yeah. In between the Jägermeister shots, they'd sneak in. You know.
The pizza
But,
was good.
It was a great experience, and a lot of kids. You know, I talked to people that it was like their first rock and roll show, or you know, a lot of sentimental times there. But that was the inspiration, was to do something right for the rock and roll community down here. India was a mistake. It was just too far, and the community was really conservative. We had the Vice in every single night. They were convinced I was selling drugs.
Get you driving and drinking.
Yeah, it was tough for the people that were over 21, like had to drive back to Palm Desert or whatever, and the cops were always waiting. And then I was doing stuff to pay the bills, like I had a hip hop night, and I had Chihano music. And I had one night I started doing hip hop nights, and I had like probably 5 or 6 different gangs from Coachella, Mecca, Mecca Vineyards, North Indio, like all in the same room at the same night. And I had the police chief of Indio come and take me outside one night and say, "Man, you're just playing with fire. You're gonna have a bad incident one of these nights. You don't know what you're dealing with." And so it was just always a struggle, you know. So we had to let it go. It's finally, we just, you know, we were booking stuff nobody had heard of, and like bands would come through town that would play for like 10 people at our place, and they go to LA, and it would be a sold out show, you know. And just I just couldn't figure out how to connect it. It wasn't this like kind of little infrastructure you have going now with like the CV Weekly. There was Bruce Fessier. I got to thank Bruce Fessier, because he really did support us. Bruce. And he did everything he could to write, you know, about the music that was happening. And but it really took, you know, like in Los Angeles, now of course with the internet, you know, it's totally different. I mean, kids are hip to stuff, you know, it's impossible to keep up with it. But
Those hip
you know,
kids.
music scenes really there was like a trilogy. It took a record store, it took print media like magazines, fanzines, and it took a nightclub, and then of course it took the bands, you know. And you know, the bands did everything they could here to promote and do their thing. But when bands were coming in from out of town, you know, I had all these cool bands that were, you know, on record labels and touring and doing all this cool stuff. But when they, you know, kids around here really maybe hadn't heard of them. But then they go to LA, and all these kids knew who they were. But so that was a struggle, and it eventually closed. But you know, that's how it goes.
Thank you for Rhythm and Brews, man.
Right, thanks.
Any footage or any recordings that you did in there?
Actually, there's a bunch of video. A friend of mine, a musician, his name's Mike Maracha. He documented like tons and tons of bands that played there. He was a really great archival guy for the scene around here in general. He videoed pretty much every band that was playing back then. And he videoed a lot, and it's all up on YouTube, most of it. Most of the good stuff's up there. So you can search it if you search Rhythm and Brews. Yeah, it's a lot of it's up there. But no, there is. I'm sorry.
Some of it was in the movie.
Yeah, there was with the sun on the back. Yeah,
A lot of that, a lot of the Kai's footage with the sun in the background was from Rhythm and Brews. Maybe we can make a Desert Age 2.
Ooh.
Get it all on there. Thank you.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question? Like, what led you to this project? What did you guys go, we need to do this movie?
Right, so we've been making, Trevor and I have been making short form subculture documentaries for a long time. So we've been making skateboard stuff, snowboard stuff, action sports, everything. And this was something I always had a passion for. Our access was Queens of the Stone Age, because they're obviously a bigger band. And then we were talking one day, and we're like, dude, has anybody done like a desert scene documentary?
couldn't find much on you guys. Like I said, you look up Fast with Jess and there's only, I mean, you can find your music obviously, but you can't find much. It's not like a massive Wikipedia page entry.
A lot of the
So it's like, you know, your name, you get Scott, and like it's just, you couldn't dig too much
it wasn't
deeper.
correct. If you look it up, a lot of the information is incorrect, and I think that also fuels our desire to get it right. And I think that was part of the negotiation with a lot of these guys working into the project was just don't screw this up. So, and don't, you know, a lot of people will come out of the woodwork, honestly, that will want to be a part of this, and they are in a sort of peripheral way, but they weren't there. So we tried really hard to kind of tell it as it was instead of going back. So a lot of the people that were at a lot of these events are the people that are standing here. So I think we did okay.
Yeah, it's tough. You can't encompass every single thing that ever happened with anything ever. It doesn't matter if it's this subject or whatever it is. So we tried our best, got a storyline and stuck with it. And, I know, sorry. So I mean, I just, you know, if people, whatever, you know.
Thank you for the kind edits. They asked me about Target 13. I go, fuck those guys. We hated them. We thought they were fucking posers. And I was like, oh, why'd I say that? I like the other version. Like, we really looked up to them, and they were great.
Like, we had so many versions to edit. There's tons of people with interviews and things we didn't use, and like, it's crazy.
You did a really nice job at being respectful of everyone, so we don't have to live in complete regret. Thank you.
Fine line. It's hard. No, what are we doing? Yeah, we have.
I don't know. I don't want to keep everyone.
What?
Where are we going?
Where are we going?
What?
Passing around.
The
Hi.
air of dysfunction.
I would like to know a little bit about what you guys think about what's going on right now in the desert and what's going on in the scene out here right now. Are you guys involved in it? Are you guys excited about it? Do you think it sucks? Like, what are your opinions about right now with Desert Hot Springs and with around the valley?
Drive home sucks. Dimes at 16th.
It's really windy there.
Desert Hot Springs is a nightmare. My
Always
mom
has
lives
been.
there. You know, I feel bad for her. It's cheaper to live there than Coachella. And there's a parole incentive also there, but it's a lot of flavor. There's a band called Venus in the Traps, I think, a young band from Coachella I saw last night. They're amazing. They're like just these young kids from Coachella. And Palm Springs is finally coming back. Sonny Bono killed Palm Springs. When he took spring break out, Palm Springs plummeted. Put in all those shitty 80s buildings. So thank God the gay community and the modernism community came in here and we're into the fucking and people want to save these beautiful buildings, and now it's a happening town again and not a total drag when you pull in and look at t-shirt shops and nothingness, you know.
Right.
So I just wish I would have invested in more properties.
No.
Go ahead.
Yeah, one question.
Hey,
Oh,
Boomer.
sorry.
What's
Sorry.
up?
Sorry.
What's up, Boomer? Hey, Boomer, what's up?
Oh, I was just gonna say,
What?
well, I think, you know, we should be grateful that there's a rock and roll club here. You know, the Hood does a good job, and
Yeah.
and it's just, you know, I know how hard it is, and you know, we just played there. We've been playing there a
Last
lot
week.
lately, I guess, a couple times the last couple of months, and it's been really fun, and people show up, and it's a great place. So I hope people kind of support it, because you can get used to something, start taking it for granted, and then pretty soon it's gone, and then everyone's, you know, going, geez, oh, you know, I think Schmitty's is closing, right? So, you know, Date Shed too? Oh, they are. Yeah, and the Date Shed, so, I don't know. But I would say, you know, the music scene here has gotten pretty eclectic too. A lot of the younger bands are, you know, like my buddy Quana back there has a really kick-ass band. And one thing I noticed when we watched them play at the Hood a while back was they kind of have what we used to have as far